Today we have two very inspiring women on this wonderful panel called New Media and Women at Ananke Women's Literature Fest. And I am so glad to introduce Hira Ali and SonalBChhibber, two wonderfully inspiring women in their own right. And today we're going to be discussing women and on the space of blogging and social media, the pros and the cons and the downside that comes with it. Coming to you, Sonal, what do you have to say about this, and what do you think about the about women in the social media space? What is your take on this? You're a blogger
Hi
yourself, anyway.
everyone. Yeah. Hi everyone. It's a pleasure and honor to be there. Firstly, I want to thank Sabin for this great initiative of virtually connecting us all. And I'm happy to be here. And now coming back to your question, yes, I've been a blogger for long. Primarily, I was an author. But yeah, this media and blogging was something I had to take up to, promote my books and, share my opinion. So yes, I was new to blogging earlier. I thought it's just for, advertising or marketing your products or for brands or for events. But I was wrong. I mean, initially when I came, I was new to the blogging world. But later on, I took a grip and, it really helped me to reach out to so many viewers worldwide regarding my writings, regarding my opinion, and the community, grew up in no time. So now that I share, 20.4K followers.
Wow,
So I mean,
that is so cool. That is so amazing.
yeah. So it's been a, really a large. It has given me a, a large and vast platform to put my thoughts across. And I do agree with Hira. So many, campaigns like Me Too and latest being the hijab controversy, they came to the limelight due to this media, and women got support. And though there were many trollers also, still there was support, and it made the policy makers also to do something about it, to take a stand and not just give their policies away. So I do agree that media has given that voice to women all over the world. It's not just people living in the urban cities or rural areas. It's like worldwide. People don't who even don't have access or doing job or can write a letter, but still women in the rural and urban areas, they are on the media and sharing their voice, and they are getting noticed. So much raw talent is being promoted nowadays, be it books, be it singers, be it any other filmmaking. So I think media is here to stay, and given that it has its pros and cons, still I would say it's a great boom, and it's a great blessing in disguise for all women here. Yeah.
Thank you for those wonderful thoughts and ideas, Sonal. But I think you mentioned a very interesting point about trolling. Unfortunately, we live in a world that we cannot be about without this. I think as we have all come, I think even Hira mentioned it. Now, when we have taken such a powerful movement like Me Too, which has seen a enormous amount of support, it has not
Right.
been easy. Also, it has come
Right.
with its side of a lot of heinous attacks and trolling. So, why do you think this trolling is occurring? I mean, why is it? Why are women on these new spaces being targeted so much? Like, what is the solution to this, and what needs to change?
So I think media, though it has its, pros, but as I said, it has its cons too. And women from centuries have been, the soft target, and they have made, scapegoats now and then. And now with media, with not much of, surveillance, so people from all over the world get, free license to say whatever they want on Twitter or otherwise. But now with the cyber police coming in, and with cyber laws being more stringent, I think the trolling will stop from a point, because I know even Virat Kohli's daughter was trolled due to his matches, which was unfair. but then he reported it and the person got arrested. So it's gonna stop. It's not just women, it's like everybody are being trolled, and women primarily, because of, I think their gender, so as to say. But now women have become stronger, and they are reporting the cases. They are coming out in the front. With Me Too, it started and it's ongoing. So I don't think so it will go on for long. And even if it goes on for long, women now have all the resources to fight back. They are not in a mood to now settle down and just, take everything which is coming in their, face. They will raise their voice, and it will be heard. So yeah, that's my take on
Okay.
it.
All
Yeah.
right. That is actually a very hopeful and optimistic take, I would
Yeah.
say, regarding
Yeah.
for women. And I mean, I'm sure we would all love to be in that world where we can freely write on blogosphere and express our thoughts on social media without that fear of being attacked.
I would like to add, it's not just, men abusing. It's like when we talk about women empowerment, sadly, but women also don't support women these days. I mean, if you
Mhm.
take up a cause, I sometimes go for my motivational lectures, and sometimes I have to put something on the page in the newspaper. I have to be very careful with what I choose to say or write, because in media nowadays, more of women are there, but sadly, women sometimes don't support women. So it's not just men misusing this, it's women also. We have to call about both the genders. And of course, we have the option of blocking people, blocking the trollers.
Yeah.
We do that. But then again, I would like to state that women need to come out and support other women, not be jealous if they
Yes.
succeed. But even with the blogging world, I've seen, women support, they don't share things so that the other one does not, climb up the ladder, which is so sad. If as women we are not supporting women, how can we expect, men or the larger public to support us? So it should start with us, rather than, we taking a march and saying women empowerment and all that. If we really are not supporting each other, then there is no use of blaming the larger world. So it should start with, as they say, it should start at home. I would say it should start with women. First, let us support each other, let us stand for each other, let us promote each other. So I'm very
But are
thankful
you
for.
sure that's not putting only the onus on us? I mean, the complete responsibility on us, because I know it's like one women supporting women, but
Right,
I mean, the bigger problem lies with the other. I
right,
mean, also the other gender also, because it's very easy for us
right.
to get harassed online, and there is a lot
Hmm.
of possible, I mean, volatile harassment that women face, especially. I
Yes.
mean, so this is something which is not completely a women problem also. I
Yeah,
Yes.
but
mean,
I'm
which is
saying the trollers can be from both genders.
Yeah.
It's not just men. Women also
yeah,
troll women, which is very sad to see that when you stand up for something and you tell about a popular personality like the Me Too happened, it was not 100% that women were supporting the woman. It was like they were saying it is her fault,
Yeah.
maybe. So that is something which is sad, and I'm glad that Sabine came out with this, WLF, because so many women now get a chance to clarify, to voice their
absolutely.
opinion, and speak about so many topics which are, hushed under the carpet normally. So, I mean, initiatives like this should be encouraged so that, we get a platform and we tell it like it is, rather than mixing up the words. Yeah.
That is very true, Sona. And actually, I'm so grateful again to Sabine and Ananke
Yeah.
for bringing women of so many different countries and
Right.
ideas and putting them all together on one platform, which is what we desperately need today. And
Yeah.
especially for a panel like this, new media and
Right.
women. And as both of you are writers and bloggers, what are you, I mean, so coming to you, both of you personally, what are your personal experiences? What are the challenges that you have faced? And how did you overcome them? Sonal, would you like to say something on this?
So yeah, about the struggles, my struggle started with my first book itself, because the title was "Living Life on My Own Terms." So
Yeah.
it's like that title really shakes the men and the larger world when a woman says, "I want to live on my terms, my rules, and I will not settle for the societal norms." So it gets into trouble. So I had a tough time finding a publisher for that, finding an agency to publish that book, because they said you have to write it on your own terms. So finally, I self-published it.
Hello,
So
Sonal, I
finally,
think.
I self-published it. books and created an online on Kindle, and then I went into the publishing myself because I was not ready to settle with, that I have to change my wordings and my opinion to, suit others. So it's like you get, then I came up with my other books of secrets of life hacking and travel book, which didn't, create such a havoc because it was easily accepted because the topic was, easily taken by all. So sometimes if you speak on challenging topics or, you take a challenging subject, then of course there are challenges. But then, I mean, you can always take short breaks and take a rest and not just quit. Don't give up on your writing and books because these challenges will happen. And like Hira said, make a like-minded group of your peers who can stand up with you, who can promote you, who can, be there with you in challenging times. So if you
Absolutely.
and you are stuck on your beliefs, then nothing can stop you. We still have a long way to go, but then these are the stepping stones, and we need to cross them with grit and strength. Yeah.
I think thank you so much for that, Sonal. I think it has really been inspiring to know. I mean, I know for you to share your story on how difficult it has been, and how inspiring that you did not refuse to back down,
Yeah.
and something that requires enormous amount of grit to constantly just hold on to what you believe in, which is something where I think all us women authors can resonate with today. That we are trying really hard to stick our feet into the mud and hold on. So
Yeah.
also, and dealing with censure or censoring. As women authors, we know how it is to deal with censoring on social media and on media, and this new media as we have been speaking about. I'm so lucky that I'm in the presence of two very strong women here today who refuses to take no for an answer, who work really hard not to fall into the traps that women are constantly accused of clickbait and sensationalism, and I know how difficult that is. So I'm so grateful again for Ananke Women's Literature Fest today for bringing these two wonderful women to us. So Sonal, coming to you, I think Hira mentioned the idea of clickbait and sensationalism and how she struggled and how she has fought to stay away from it. How have you battled this?
So I have been a journalist and editor in chief for long, and I worked with leading publications like College Times, Gulf News, National, Out and About magazine, and I've come in a lot of TV shows and short films. So the thing was, because of the country we live in, like Middle East, everything is bit censored because of the general public. You have to be careful of the culture of the people that you don't offend them. So sometimes, even though if I have to say something on an article in a newspaper, I have to be very careful that it does not hurt sentiments of the people. Like in Eid times, there is so much traffic and so much, chaos, that I wrote about it at one time. But then I thought, because it's a holy month of Eid and Ramadan, so I had to choose my words and say it in a way that people need to be careful of the rules, even though it's a holy month. And like Hira said, like South Asian women are not given that much privilege and voice to, say their opinion. But I have stood my ground and I have said what I've said, though I had to censor and edit my own, write ups and own speeches at times to, not to hurt the sentiments, because the idea is to get the point across, not to hurt people or to, shove them away from us. So I have done that, my own censorship, before the newspaper or the TV show could have said, okay, you do this, because I understand, because the country we live in, we have to live by the rules and by the culture. So sometimes it takes away your, literary independence a bit, and you feel like I should be in a space where I can say anything. But then it's a long way. It will come in due course of time. Even Dubai is now very cosmopolitan. There are all kind of cultures, and women are coming in forefront, even the South Asian women. So I think now it's, we are getting there, but still it's a long way, and we have to tread our paths carefully, I would say.
And I completely relate with Sonal on that.
Even
So
for
you're
our mental health, I mean, for our mental health and mental space, we need that, peace of mind to,
Censorship, yes.
move more comfortably and move more productively. So I think sometimes, as she said, we have to choose our battles. We can't put our foot
But
down
do you
in
think
every.
this borders on walking on eggshells and to being overtly cautious? I mean, where is the line here?
So we have to draw a line. Unfortunately, there is an unsaid line which you can't cross and you can't, defy. So, I mean, you have to be careful and choosy with your words. And sometimes, as I said, it takes away your independence of, saying is as it is. But then again, the message is important rather than, the caption, or rather than being too blatant about it. So we have to respect the culture and the country we are in, and still try to get our point across in the best way we know. So it's a very thin line, very
Yeah.
tricky line, but you have to make that balance for your own mental peace, for your own, creative freedom, and move with the times, and move, like they say, be like a Roman when you are in Rome. So you have to be like that. But sooner or later, I think uh, things are getting improved, and now I don't have to do too much editing into
Hmm.
my articles. I try to be as it is, what I want to say, and it gets approved, by the journals and publications, because now public also wants to hear the truth, and they don't want sweet and sugary stuff to be on their platter. So everybody now is getting opened up, and everybody is getting realistic. But yeah, still it will take time, especially when it has to come from a South Asian woman. It takes time, but then we are not giving up. We have a long way to go. So let's
Yes,
hope for the best.
absolutely.
So
Yes.
basically, as South Asian authors, I think what we have understood from today's discussion is that we don't have so much of a privilege with other people.
Right.
That's what.
And
Okay.
moreover, like recently, I mean, there was this Kashmir Files movie which made a lot of brave, and a lot of people got enlightened, and it was a very thought-provoking movie. But I was like very afraid to voice my opinion coming from North India. I wanted to, but then I thought maybe the movie won't get approved in UAE, and if it's not approved, and I voicing my opinion might be taken otherwise. But yesterday I read a tweet by the director that the censorship have allowed the movie to be released in UAE, in Dubai, without any cuts. So I mean, now I feel free to voice my opinion. So things are getting,
Better.
uh, one time we would not have thought that in UAE things like this could be taken up. But now the leaders, the chairman, they have a vision that they also want every voice to be heard. So it's a good thing. So I'm all for it now. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have had a fabulous discussion today where we've discussed, censorship, and we're discussing women in media, the challenges as we women have faced, especially South Asian women, and how difficult it is for us to face, handling trolling, betrayal, such an online betrayal, working within a framework. And yes, as we're coming close to discussion, I would like to ask both of you for your parting thoughts and a message for aspiring bloggers and women today who aspiring authors. What would you like to tell them? Sonal, what would your message be?
So I would say, as Hira said, new media can be a good tool if used constructively and productively. So I feel new media, as I've already said, it has its pros and cons. We have to use it very, well, to put our, thoughts across, but at the same time, try not to hurt sentiments of people of religion, of caste and creed. So we have to be careful, and of course, we have to preserve our mental health, because that is not talked about much. So, as writers, as media personalities, as journalists, we need that space for ourselves. So, we
And maybe
have
as
to.
human beings also, as human
Right,
beings.
we have to report the trolls. We have to block them. We have to take our space and breaks, and come back with renewed determination and strength. Not give up. Stay true to our, be authentic. Stay true to our points, and use blogging and the media very well, in a way that it prospers the literary field, and it does not curb us, does not stop us from doing anything we want. So we have to take it with a pinch of salt and continue our work with, a lot of grit and determination. So all the best to all the bloggers, writers, and women and everybody in the world. Let's keep moving.
I think Sonal and Hira have shared a different sort of a different brand of optimism today for women bloggers. Two women who have really stood their ground while fighting for just expressing themselves. And it is such an honor to be talking to both of you on this panel, especially on Ananke, another wonderful literary fest, which
And
brings
thank you for
together
being a
different
Thank you,
women
Sabine.
and
as
so
well.
many stories.
You were a
It's been an absolute
fantastic
pleasure
host, Shana.
I love chatting with you
Oh,
all.
I'm so glad, and I hope there's so much to learn from both of you. Thank you, Sabine. Thank you, Hira, and thank you so much,
And
Sonal.
Ananke
It's
rocks.
been wonderful.
And Ananke rocks, Sabine.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.